When I was 22 years old, I was diagnosed with psoriasis, which is a skin condition, autoimmune. Basically, our skin cells typically regenerate every 28 days, but people with psoriasis, it tends to regenerate every 3 to 4 hours. So you end up with lesions all over your skin, where skin is growing on top of skin, on top of skin. At 22, it wasn't much of an issue because it was on my scalp and it was a small spot and no one could see it, so it was fine. Unfortunately, when I was 24, I was diagnosed with psoriatic arthritis, which happens to a small percentage of people that have psoriasis. That was quite devastating for me at the time. It was in both my knees. Previous to that, I was very active with sport and everything, and I was reduced to barely being able to walk up the stairs at home. I was always wearing knee braces. Anyway, so that was that. I tried various medication and things sort of went up and down, and I guess it got to the point where I started taking quite strong medication to control the arthritis, because there was a time when it went from head to toe and I really struggled to get through the day without pain and to be able to move. And this is all before I'm 30. And I just got to the point where I thought, I just don't want to do this. I don't want the side effects that come with it. There has to be another way. And I think it got so bad, I just thought, I was not put on this earth to live like this. Why be here at all if this is the way life is going to be? And by that stage, I was married and I had a small daughter, I think she was maybe 2 years old or 3 years old at the time, when I had really bad arthritis, my daughter. So I just thought I'd be done with the medication, left that and started seeking natural alternatives. And I've looked a lot into diet, because diet obviously can play a huge part in the wellness of an individual. And I've done everything. I've been vegan, raw vegan, vegetarian, pescatarian, juice cleanses coming out of my ears, meat-free, dairy-free, gluten-free, alcohol-free, refined, sugar-free, and all permutation and combination possible. I always saw I did see benefits, but I never saw complete healing for my skin. And that was what I really set out to achieve, because I just felt that I just didn't like the diagnosis of being told that I have to manage this, or this is something you have to live with now. I didn't come into this world with this. I don't intend to keep it with me and don't intend to carry it on when I move on from this world. So it was just a belief and just a desire to have a better quality of life and to really know and feel like there was a better way to do this. So I've been working on myself for years, mindset and just being strong mentally and positive and overcoming circumstances and overcoming my current environment. Somewhere along the lines, Dr. Joe Dispenza fell into that. It was through Hay House, through a random email where there was a video and he spoke for 20 minutes, and I just remember stopping and starting, writing down every single word that he said, because there was something about it that just completely resonated with me. And I think that was the beginning, and I was fortunate enough to attend 2 progressive workshops when he came to London. Both of them were amazing. The book, You Are the Placebo, just blew my mind, absolutely blew my mind. I remember when I was reading that, every night I would say to my husband, oh my goodness, there's this person who did this, and did you know about this study and about the placebo effect and nocebo effect? And it got me so excited. And then I discovered somewhere along the line his YouTube testimonials and started to hear about the meditations that people were doing. So I fell upon the blessing of the energy centers, and I have been doing that daily for a year, I would say, maybe a year or so. And there were so many times where I had doubts, because I mean, you have doubts, right? You've been told that this is incurable, it's autoimmune, your immune system is attacking, your body's attacking yourself. On top of that, by that stage, I was pretty much covered 80% of my skin with skin lesions. So it was all over my face, it was just everywhere. Oddly enough, it was not on my scalp, the one place that no one would notice, but it was everywhere else, all over my arms. So I had to overcome being able to just go out in public and wear, like, wear a bikini when I'm going on holiday with my family. I want to swim in the pool with my children. I don't want to sit by the side and cover up. So I overcame all of that with a lot of difficulty, but I do feel that his meditations helped me just grow stronger from within, and to know that beauty comes from inside and it's got nothing to do with the appearance and how we look. So I really started to live the life that I wanted to live as if I didn't have the skin condition. However, I still had the skin condition, and I still had it for a long time. And there were times early this year where I was just looking at myself and what else is there? What am I missing? Because I was literally walking out every day out the door, wearing whatever I wanted. And I thought that was it, but clearly it wasn't. Come to May and June, and I've always lived a busy life. I love being busy. I love doing lots of different things. And things just got to a point where my husband, Adrian, and I were talking about it. We just thought something has to change. Like, I have to just give up certain responsibilities. I don't have to be everything to everyone all the time. And I did. I started to let go of certain things. I stopped checking WhatsApp. I just did not respond to people. And to the point where some of our friends would message my husband, would message Adrian saying, "Is Ahila okay? Like, we haven't heard from her for a while." And he's like, "Yeah, she's fine. She's just, chilling out, taking a break." Stopped going on Facebook, Instagram, just cut out everything. I just focused on myself and my children and Adrian. And I took the meditations to another level. I think I just had this resolve going, you know what? I think I've fallen into the habit of managing the condition, and that's the last thing I want to do. I really want to heal and get rid of this. Around that same time, I was clearing out a drawer and I found a photo of myself from way back. And my 6-year-old son looked at it and he's like, "Oh my gosh, Alma, I didn't know that's what you looked like." And I was like, "What?" And I looked at it and I just got such a shock. I had completely forgotten what I used to look like. And it just sort of clicked, because Dr. Joe always says, where focus goes, energy flows. Even though I was trying to live my life in my future self, I was still very much fixated on my skin, and I was very aware of moisturizing regularly so it didn't crack or bleed, so I wouldn't feel pain or discomfort. And I did all these things to avoid pain and to avoid discomfort, but as a result, like, I could close my eyes and map out where every single lesion was on my body. I knew it that well. And I think that was, and I had this realization going, I think I'm actually keeping myself in this place. So I looked at that photo and I just studied it in detail, memorized it. It was just this, just a face like this where I was smiling and it was a happy time. And I started to put feeling into it. And, feeling is the language of the body. And I would meditate, blessing of the energy centers. I think for the last year I've been clearing out obviously a lot of energy as well. But when I'd come towards the end of that meditation, I would picture that or visualize that picture in my mind. But it wasn't the visualization, it was the feeling that came with it. And it wasn't the feeling of saying, yeah, I want clear skin so I can do whatever I want, because in reality, I can do whatever I want now. That's just a rule that people set for themselves, or people that have psoriasis. For me, the feeling was being able to say to everyone, like, I healed myself, or there's an energy, there's something in the universe that healed me, and this is curable. I don't have to live with this. Like, I can go beyond my current circumstances and choose the new life. And I've been going on about this for years. And so there are so many doctors in my family and so many friends that are doctors, and so many people have said, with the best of intentions and with just love, saying, Ahila, why don't you just try this medicine or try that? And I'm like, no, there is a better way. So I think for me, it was just the feeling of going, yes, like, my conviction, I held to my conviction and my values, because and I think also I really wanted that feeling, because I wanted to show my children that it is possible to literally do anything. And I just started doing that every day, and within a week I could see a difference on my face, which was what I was visualizing in my mind. And normally, when I see a benefit, I get all, okay, right, I'm going to do this and I'm going to be healed in 1 month, and I put time frames on it and I box it and it always falls apart. This time I was like, don't even think about it, don't look at it, don't get excited, just keep doing it. And I did. So then I did get on Facebook once to download more pictures, and I found pictures of myself when I was really young where I had clear skin on my arms and my legs, my stomach, my back, and I started just picturing those in my mind, but adding the feeling to it. And the feeling was so intense. There were some mornings where I would finish meditating and I would open my eyes and my face would be wet from tears because I was crying from the feeling of euphoria of having done it, having crossed the river. There'd be other mornings where I'd go look in the mirror to wash my face and I would literally jolt myself because I was so shocked that I still had the lesions on me, because the feeling in my mind when my eyes were closed was so vivid and so real. It was a genuine shock that I still had it on my face. Like, that's how far the feeling went inside of me to instigate this change. And I mean, this all happened, my husband bought me the ticket to come to the advanced workshop to just push me over. But before I got here, I managed to heal myself. I'm completely healed. This is all, I mean, you can see some scarring, which is left over, but there's just nothing, like there's nothing anywhere. I can't strip off, but take my word for it. I mean, the best was it took maybe around 3 months for it all to clear. And for maybe 2 weeks afterwards, every night, Adrian would say, so was it just Dr. Jo's work? Like, you weren't really eating that well. You weren't doing all that. I'm like, yeah, I know. I think it was just the meditations. Crazier things have happened. For example, now my husband actually gets up earlier than me to meditate because he has, obviously completely transformed the way he thinks. My son and my daughter are amazed, especially my son. Like, he's a 6-year-old, he's just innocent. He just says what he thinks, he has no filter. And he'll say, oh my gosh, you did it. He goes, you always say to us that you didn't believe the doctors said it was incurable, or that the doctors were right, that it's incurable. He goes, you actually healed yourself. And I was like, yeah, I know. And when I said that I was going away for a week to see Dr. Joe Dispenza, he said, oh, that's the guy. You read all his books, isn't it? I always see you carrying his book. I'm like, yes, I do. Little do they know that I have so much to talk to them about. I mean, it's been an amazing week. And I hope this can help, especially for people with psoriasis. Like, I have started sharing it on Instagram, which is where I have an Instagram account about psoriasis, to go from 80% coverage all over my body to nothing. And during this week, I forgot to say, so I have some stiff joints. This finger I was able to move a few months ago, but there was always a stiffness, and somewhere along the way during the week, this stiffness is gone now. It just feels like a normal finger. This thumb is still a little bit stiff, but I know that's going to go. And yeah, I ran all the way from the challenge back to the hotel because we were running late. I have not run for years because the arthritis first started in my knees, and I did a small run in August and my knees were okay, but a bit wobbly. I sprinted because I wanted to come back, and the one thing that stopped me was my fitness because I couldn't breathe, as opposed to pain in my knees. So it absolutely can be done.